legs are all around. She says it's easier to keep her head down. She looks at you strange when you say this hoe. That's how rebellions work, don't you know?
Rebel girl.
Rebel girl.
Take two. Trying again. Doing what we can. Had a little bit of a technical snafu. Andrew's going to join me in a moment. I don't have a camera today. We're going to do trivia. You don't need to see me if we're doing trivia. Tell your friends. Tell them all. There might be a second stream going. This is the one that you want to be at. Because the other one is non-existent. Doesn't exist. It was a mistake. Hello, Stan. Sorry about the confusion there. The other one was a complete muck-up that I mucked right up. Actually, my internet just stopped. Shocking. So that's what happens. We're going to do trivia today. Andrew is going to join me momentarily. Not sure where he is because he's got his debut tonight at 7 p.m. for Thumb War that we really, really want to spend this afternoon promoting and letting everybody know about. Should be fun. I am in that first episode. Some people say that I am the best thing to happen. Hello, Pauline. I hope everybody was in the other. I'm sorry if you were in the other one. My internet just stopped, and I lost that one completely. Couldn't access it again, so I had to recreate this one here. Waiting on Fantasia to show up. Don't know where he is. Listen to F105. That's Din on F105. You know what? Let's just ask a trivia question. Let's go right into the trivia. Right into it. I'll know the answer. You guys won't. But I'm not very good at it, so I'm really excited to hear what you have to say. Thank you for hanging out with us at your lunch today. How many kilometers in diameter was the second Death Star? This is not... What a question this one is. How many kilometers in diameter was the second Death Star? Over 2,000 kilometers, 160 kilometers, over 500 kilometers, or over 1,500 kilometers. What do you guys think in the chat? As I still wait for Andrew to show up. I gotta make sure he's okay. So how many kilometers in diameter was the second Death Star? Over 2,000 kilometers, over 160 kilometers, over 500 kilometers, over 1,500 kilometers. See what we have in the chat right now. Stan So is saying 500 kilometers. And we'll just get the answer here. The answer, of course, is 160 kilometers. 160 kilometers. If you don't know that, Pauline got it right. Shot in the dark. She gets it. Pauline for the win. If you don't know it, Phil, you're not a real Star Wars fan. That's really what it comes down to. If you don't know the diameter of the second Death Star based on kilometers, you are the opposite of a Star Wars fan. All right, next question. Where was the pit of Carkoon located? Where was the pit of Carkoon located? The pit of Carkoon, was it located at the Western Dune Sea, the Judland Wastes, Ben's Mesa, the outskirts of Mos Olaf? By the way, Olaf, another Staying at Home with Olaf, has debuted on Twitter today. Josh Gad just released it. So we have, where was the pit of Carkoon located? The Western Dune Sea, the Judland Wastes, Ben's Mesa, the outskirts of Mos Olaf. That's Carcoon A, says Pauline, the Western Dune Sea. Oh, Andrew's here. His mic's not on, though, so you guys didn't hear what he said. Andrew, let me know, where was the pit of Carcoon located? The Western Dune Sea, the Jedland Waste, Ben's Mesa, the outskirts of Mos Olaf.
Ooh, I wish Mos Olaf was a thing, but it's A.
And the chat is all saying, hey, Rural Farm Boys here, Pauline and Stan. We had some hiccups today. Also, my video is not working today. So it's just going to be Andrew's beautiful mug right there. Beautiful mug.
Yeah, sorry, my computer was very weird. I'm on Facebook going to get the link, and I started watching this little jokey video, and about 20 seconds in, the video just went and it stopped, and then from that point on, none of my audio or video was working at all.
I do fear your computer is going to do what my computer does eventually, and we're both doomed is what I'm saying for computer wise.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right, Andrew, final question on this card, and then we could talk a little bit about Thumb War and go back to more trivia. Where was Luke Skywalker brought to face the Emperor aboard the second Death Star? If you've seen The Rise of Skywalker, you know the answer. Where was Luke Skywalker brought to face the Emperor aboard the second Death Star? The receiving area, the tower pinnacle, the maintenance hatch, the Emperor's throne room.
Now, that's weird because the Emperor's throne room was in the pinnacle of a tower.
Not on the Death Star, though.
Yeah, there was like I remember the picture, like an antenna. It looks like an antenna, but it's actually a spire, and the throne room is at the top of that. I feel like the card is saying throne room is the answer, but I'm pretty sure it's at the top of a tower.
Where was Luke Skywalker brought to face the Emperor aboard the second Death Star? The receiving area, the tower pinnacle, the maintenance hatch, the Emperor's throne room. Everyone's saying throne room so far because that's the answer, Andrew. Get your headcanon out of here, or your too much information knowledge. That's
I
the
want to know
problem.
why, what world we would live in where Palpatine would be like, tell him to meet me at the maintenance hatch. I've got to check the wiring.
That's the one that I want to be in. Andrew's got a point, says Rural Farm Boy. For me, it's just it's the throne room. It could be in a tower, but it's the room itself is the throne room.
Have we seen...
No.
Yeah, the room itself is called the throne room. You're right. I'm trying to remember. Have we seen in new canon an image of what his throne room on Coruscant looks like? I know we've been to it in like the Thrawn book and stuff like that, but have we seen it visually? Because I feel like that'd be a beautiful place to visit.
I haven't seen it. Rural Farm Boy could let us know, but I have not seen it. I would like to. I agree with you. That'd be super cool.
I just picture marble everywhere, a bunch of statues of like creepy people in hoods.
Well, one of my
painting of him astride a bull with his shirt off. I feel like he would totally go for one of those.
I told you when I was in Italy, I guess it was like 16 years ago now. I was in Caserta and we went through this like old this like castle-y building. I was with my cousins from there and my uncle, and we're all walking around. And I'm looking around like, I know where I am, but I don't know where I am. Like, what is the significance of this place? And I looked and I was like, oh my God, I'm on Naboo. And I was in the Queen Amidala's chambers and all that stuff. Like the whole, that area where Cyber was like, can only mean one thing, invasion. I was in that room and I was like, this is amazing. But you got me thinking because it's all marble.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's where you go for marble is in Italy. So, and he's from Naboo. So yeah, I think it would be all marble.
Totally. He would have that, that'd be a part of his cultural history where he's like, I'm keeping this. That's the thing that I feel like it really, when people make the argument of like, is Star Wars sci-fi or is it fantasy? I always lean more towards fantasy because when I look at sci-fi, like particularly Mass Effect, okay, the Mass Effect video games, those are fun games. They're definitely sci-fi. But if you walk around in Mass Effect in the any location, it's always like really visually ugly, stark geometric shapes. They'll be like, this is the grand palace of whatever, and it's literally just a big white rectangle with like a big white tower. And I feel like Star Wars does not do that. Star Wars is not going to have something look ugly like that. Star Wars will have a full-on cathedral with stained glass windows. Just there's people who shoot laser guns inside that cathedral.
That's the problem. Is it has laser guns.
Yeah.
That's why it's sci-fi, right? Sorry, it's tough. Like I know what you're saying. I agree, but it's just as you put it in it's hard to put certain things in a genre, and I think that's the problem with Star Wars. Is it's its own genre.
Yeah, they're lighting those candles in that cathedral with a lightsaber.
Yeah, but the problem is they have spaceships and laser guns and laser swords, and because of that, it's sci-fi.
Yeah,
like at a bookstore, it's in sci-fi, right?
I don't want to ever get to a point where we see what his throne room looked like and it's a Mass Effect-y looking throne room. You know, I don't want to just be like, here is a black rectangle that is my wall. Like I want
black rectangle.
I want Gothic architecture. I want stained glass. I want brass candelabras. I want his throne room to look like a throne room.
Well, I think I think I brought this up to you the other day over the phone when I was talking to you about Lord of the Rings, and how when they were designing those movies, they wanted everything to look real and lived in, and you know, and I think Star Wars, to your point about fantasy, operates under that as well. And I actually compared it to like Uncle Owen and Luke on Tatooine, where you're like, I would never wear that, but I could see somebody wearing that, and it's real to me, and the aesthetic is real. Whereas when I watch sci-fi, a lot of the times, you know, it's like, well, who's going to wear that? I mean, the Stormtrooper stuff, I guess, is closer to sci-fi, but like you're like, and that's my favorite, oddly enough. But you're like, but you know, it is out of this world. Whereas Star Wars, every time you look at something in Star Wars, it's very in world, even though it's in another galaxy. You're like, that could be on Earth. Even Camino, as clean as that is, it's like, well.
Yeah, there's something really tangible about it. And the Stormtrooper thing is like, I feel like I could wear that outfit and do the job of a soldier or a Marine or whatever it is they have to do. And then on the flip side, you've got like really sci-fi stuff like what's that game, StarCraft, where all the soldiers they look like they're wearing a refrigerator's worth of armor on them, to the point where they're like as wide as a Hummer, and they're like, I'm a soldier. I'm like, dude, you can't even walk.
Well, the debate will never end because no one will ever be right. Star Wars is Star Wars. All right, Andrew, 7 o'clock. Pauline's asking, 7 o'clock tonight, the Andrew Fantasia YouTube channel. Why don't you are you on the chat right now?
No, hold on. Let me get in the chat.
All right, you should put a link to Thumb War in the chat. There's going to be a live chat with Thumb War. Thumb War has really nothing to do with Star Wars. But Star Wars has a mention in one of them, doesn't it?
Star Wars has a mention in episode 4. Actually, a pretty hefty mention in episode 4.
So you've got to wait a month.
Yeah.
I've got to wait a month for that. But tonight is you shot this in 2016. Tonight's the first episode. I am the main character, I believe, in this episode.
Oh yeah, you're the main character in all of them.
I'm only in 2 of them, and I'm the main character in all of them. So do the math on that one. But so 7 p.m. Eastern time, live chat, 30-minute episode, right?
Yep, 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Why don't you give everybody a little synopsis on what it is and how big your role is in it? Because everybody knows I am not the lead. Actually, I have a brief cameo, but in all seriousness, why don't you tell everybody about it before we get to the next question?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, my computer literally could not be going any slower. And let me just silence the ad. There we go. So Thumb War, Thumb War is a show that I came up with many moons ago. That's just a comedy about a group of people who want to become famous on YouTube, and the struggles that happen to them in their quest to do so. It's called Thumb War because they end up in a big rivalry with the guy who is really, really YouTube famous, and he turns out to be a big, obnoxious a-hole, and he's a big meanie. And they have a rivalry with him. And they are doing what nobody on YouTube does, which is reviewing movies, new and old. Everybody's a critic. So literally on YouTube, everybody is a critic. And it's about them trying to make their way as film critics. And some stuff happens to them. And as you'll see, it kind of jumps around in time a bit too. But James and Aaron have some very interesting cameos in episode 1 and episode 6. And I'm excited. I'm excited for everybody to see it. I'm going to chat right now. I'm going to post the link.
Something I'm not sure about is, am I the same character in both episodes?
We never specify, so you could be.
I'm pretty sure I played them different. Well, I mean, obviously tonight's episode, my character is very one thing. So it was fun. It was a good time. Although we were all so much younger and fatter.
Yes, we were. Yeah. And in episode 2, I have this monologue that I give, and as I'm editing myself, watching myself get this monologue, I can't take my eyes off my double chin. And back then I didn't have a beard, so nothing was hidden. It was all out in the open. And I'm just like, oh dear, why didn't anybody tell me?
Because we all had triple chins.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you want to see a little picture of a sneak peek of what's to come tonight, the Rebel Scum Podcast Instagram account posted, and also Twitter. Most of you probably saw it on Twitter. It's a lot of fun. I am really looking forward to seeing it. I'll be in the live chat tonight. Not because I'm in this episode, because I actually don't want to see myself, but because I've read all of this. Well, I think I've read most of the scripts, and they're very enjoyable. And I can't wait to see how it all turns. You've shown me scenes of them as well.
Yes. I think I sent you and Aaron's scenes when they were done, I think.
And you showed me almost an entire episode at your house.
That's right.
A decade ago. It feels like forever ago. When Out There was still being worked on.
It was October 2016 when we started rolling cameras. And you can see sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I worked on it in April of 2017, I think.
You worked on it April 2018.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But you'll be able to see once the whole series is out, you'll be able to notice with some of the actors in the show, you can kind of chart the timeline to be like, oh, he has a beard now. Oh, he's 20 pounds slimmer. Oh, okay. And then you'll see a window behind us with snow. And then the next episode we go outside and it's like a blazing summer's day. So it's very, very fluctuating like that. It's zero budget. Literally, I just bought them pizzas every time that we had a shoot day, and that's it. That's where I spent all my money. And I bought some wigs. So the budget is
got some wigs.
Minuscule. There's some wigs in this, but basically, if you're blonde, you're a villain. Sorry, James.
Well, I wear a hat in both of my scenes because I used to be blonde. Now I have no hair. I can't wait. 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. We'll all be on the chat. 30 minutes of that fun stuff. And at some point, I think tomorrow, Brock and I are going to record 167. So we'll put that up tomorrow night for everybody. And then Monday, we're going to do 2 live shows, and I think something else in between there as well, because it is Star Wars Day on Monday. And the last
Monday's going to be a big day.
Last episode of Clone Wars, Mandalorian, episode 1 Behind the Scenes, and Rise of Skywalker, all on Disney Plus. Also, Phil Showstack posted on Twitter that apparently they've been working on original artwork. So on Disney Plus, original artwork all week long will be shown on Disney Plus for all of the Star Wars Skywalker Saga films. So that's super, super exciting.
And then the big announcement about the Rian Johnson films coming.
Okay, Andrew, stop.
I made that up.
Yeah.
I made that up. That's a lie.
I'm curious to see if we're going to get if they're going to just be here's something, because we all, I don't know, everybody's in isolation. You figure they might just be let's do it right now. But actually, 2 hours ago, StarWars.com just posted Star Wars 2020 deals.
Ooh.
Get 25% off all Star Wars art. Best Buy is offering surprise savings on Star Wars home entertainment, toys, and collectibles. It's Best Buy 40% off. Probably not in Canada. Don't you worry. Cake worthy. Whatever.
So I take that to mean $2 off a Dio Funko.
Yeah, probably.
That's what that sounds like.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Cakeworthy, whatever that is 40% off all Star Wars products. Chaser, again, don't know what that is, 54% off. Creative Apparel, hello. Disney Lucasfilm Press, get it, the ebook Star Wars Queen Shadow for free. Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
I will be doing that. Offer valued May 1st through May 8th. So Friday, you can get Queen Shadow for free. Glad I clicked on this because I guess I know what I'm doing. Entertainment Earth is offering free shipping on all in-stock Star Wars items using the code SHIPS W free. SHIPS W free at checkout. Offer on May 4th. Fan wraps, those big poster things that you put on your wall, like stickers on your wall. 20% off all Star Wars. 20% off all Star Wars fatheads. 30% off all Star Wars decals with code May4BWU. Offer May 4th through May 10th. GameStop, grab daily Star Wars deals up to 50% off. Offers valid May 1st to May 9th. So that's pretty good. Half price on Star Wars merch. Hannah Anderson, snag 50% off Star Wars pajamas and more. Offer valid April 30th through May 5th. Her Universe, great line. Enjoy 30% off all Star Wars apparel, including the new Clone Wars inspired collection. Offer May 4th. Hot Topic, 30% off select Star Wars merchandise on Hot Topic. That is $1.50 off of a Dio Funko.
But only if that Star Wars merchandise involves Jack Skellington.
That's true. Lego, get free exclusive Death Star 2 battle with Lego Star Wars purchase over $75. VIPs score 2 times the points on Lego Star Wars products. There's apparently VIP Legos. That's offer valid May 1st to 4th. OtterBox, 15% off all Star Wars OtterBox cases. That is literally a dime off of your $300 phone case. Out of print, buy one Star Wars tee, get a pair of Star Wars socks free. Regs Apparel, 20% off items using Star Wars. There's a lot. Holy moly.
Wow.
Regal Robot, 25% off Star Wars items. That's cool. Boxing gloves. This is awesome. Sanibel, 15% off Star Wars inspired boxing gloves with promo code May the 4th. Oh, God, there's a lot here. I can't read.
There was actually a very cool announcement that also dropped today. It's not Star Wars related, but it got me very excited. They announced the next Assassin's Creed game. I'm all over those games. It's Vikings, James. It's all about being a Viking. It's called Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And it finally goes to a location we haven't seen in the whole series. It goes to medieval England. So I am going to climb Stonehenge. I'm going to walk through the forest and maybe meet a knight. I don't know, but I'm really stoked for this game.
Sideshow Collectibles say snag up to $100 off select Star Wars merchandise. Yeah, cool. I don't know if I've ever actually played Assassin's Creed. No, I have on my 3DS. I have it on 3DS. It is quite fun.
Which one do they have on 3DS?
The one that I have. I actually don't know what it is. I actually don't mind Assassin's Creed.
The subtitle is the one James has.
Yeah, I find it pretty fun.
It's really cool. You would love Part 2 and Brotherhood because they're both set in Italy. Part 2 is you get Firenze, you get the Tuscan countryside and Monteregione. You get I forget. There's this other place that I don't remember the name of, and Venice. And then in Brotherhood, it's all in Rome. And you you hang out with Da Vinci and Dante Alighieri, and you may meet a pope or two. Pretty fun.
Well, if it goes down to $1.50 or $5, I will check it out. How about that? Check it out. I can't get it on the Nintendo Switch because mine is busted. Because I don't know why. Okay, ready? Some more. So we're tonight. What was the last transport to escape the Imperial blockade of Hoth? What was the last transport to escape the Imperial blockade of Hoth? The Bright Hope, the Duty Free, Thawne's Orchard, Lana's Lament.
Duty free.
Mm-hmm. The duty free. Get on there, the duty free. You don't have to pay taxes. Oh, brilliant.
The last transport to leave Hoth.
The last transport to escape the Imperial blockade of Hoth, the Bright Hope, the Duty Free, Thon's Orchard, Lana's Lament.
Well, the only one of those that I know is a rebel ship is Bright Hope. So let's go with that one.
We'll see what the chat is saying. I'm going to add the link to Thumb-War in the description also.
Pretty sure Lana's Lament was a Smallville episode.
Weren't they all?
Somebody say.
Did you watch the big crossover in what's it called? Infinity Saga? What was that thing called where they did all the
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, that one. Did you watch this?
Not yet.
I've seen I've seen clips.
Ooh, I'm excited for Lois and Clark. I loved Lois Lane on Smallville, but I'm working my way up to it. I just started the first season of Supergirl, and it's pretty cool. There's some Krypton lore that they really dig into. It's juicy stuff. I think you'd dig it. I haven't gotten to meet Superman yet because we know he shows up on that show eventually, but I haven't met him yet. But Jimmy Olsen's pretty cool. He's on the show a bunch.
Great. Polly missed the question. What was the last transport to escape the Imperial blockade of Hoth? The Bright Hope, the Duty Free, Thon's Orchard, Lana's Lament. Yeah, I've seen the Smallville scene in.
Oh
yeah, I saw that, and I was actually cool. There's two. I don't know if you know who the cameos are, but there are two super cool cameos that I believe are pointless but are super cool.
Ooh,
I've never seen the shows.
Know that.
Yeah, there's two super cool. Well, you know that everybody's in it, right? So obviously,
pretty much. Did you know there's another Superman who has a regular occurrence in that universe, not as Superman?
Yeah, Brandon Routh.
Yeah,
who may or may not.
Adam.
But he comes. Yeah, Adam, and he does play Superman in Crisis on Earth or whatever.
Oh my God!
I'm joking. He is Superman. Did you like him as Superman?
I liked him as Superman. I really liked Superman Returns a lot.
God.
I was.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I was gung ho for that. I remember my cousin Vince worked. He was working for IMAX at the time, and he worked on the 3D transfer for Superman Returns. So he and I were just like geeking out over it, and he heard this grapevine rumor that Bryan Singer had ideas down the pipeline for 6 movies. So if it did well, it would have been like a 6-movie thing. And I was just like,
yes! He should have focused on making one movie. Like, okay, look, you can like it all you want, but first of all, Lex Luthor's plot was the dumbest thing on earth. Because at least in the original Superman, he's like beachfront property. I'm like, I get that. Whereas this one, he's like, we're going to make these islands that you can't step on. Because they're all... Anyway. And then he has a kid.
I will say this. The movies have never really done Lex Luthor any justice. But gun to my head, I will take Spacey over Hackman and Facebook Boy any day.
I can't... I didn't like Kevin Spacey before he was a sleazebag. I didn't think.
I forgot he's a sleazebag.
He's a sleazebag. Yeah, I didn't like him as Lex Luthor, and I didn't mind Routh. It's just he was basically just being Christopher Reeves. Honestly, my favorite Superman is Henry Cavill, who needs to get another movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love Man of Steel. I just think that movie is. I don't think it should be part of a universe. I just think the movie's brilliant. What was the last transport to escape the Imperial blockade of Hoth? The Bright Hope, the Duty Free, Thon's Orchard, Lana's Lament. Yep. Everyone's saying Bright Hope. Fantasia, what do you say?
Bright Hope.
What a weird name. That is actually that was actually a foreshadowing of Rey. People didn't realize that, but George Lucas was foreshadowing Rey. That's how thought out he had
because her name is Ray, like a ray of light. And what is light? It's bright, and she brought hope.
Yeah, she's the last hope. Look, people don't give Disney or George Lucas enough credit, but that is. Is it wrong that Dean Cain is my favorite Superman? Yes. No, I mean, there's no one's wrong. I think Henry Cavill was just perfect and just needs a movie that people enjoy, other than me. But this is my thing. I love Man of Steel, but everybody cried because he killed Zod at the end, which I think makes complete sense because there's no kryptonite in that movie. His kryptonite is humankind, and his weakness is saving. Anyway, so he kills Zod. Yeah. Everybody complains about him killing Zod, to the point where Christopher Nolan has to like justify it. It's like, you don't have to justify it. Whatever. And then the next movie, they're like, you know what Batman should do? What? Shoot people. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute. Did you not learn from the... Which, by the way, I did not have a problem with. But as soon as I watched it in the theater, I'm like, people are going to hate this. Like, why would you give Batman a gun after people just cried over the last one? Read The Room.
I liked those two movies a lot, minus Luthor. I think they were great.
I actually didn't mind Luthor. I think they tried something. I don't know if they might not have succeeded, but I think they tried. I think if they would have gone further down the road, we might have seen him transition into a different kind of Lex, and we would have seen this evolution of a madman.
Maybe, but I mean, you can cast Michael Cera as Thanos, and he can play a good villain, but he's not Thanos. You know?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess he was different. I like Michael Rosenbaum, actually. I thought he was a good Lex Luthor.
He's my favorite Lex Luthor.
Oh, well, Phil was in love with Terry Hatcher at one point, so that would explain.
Oh,
he just wants to
we all
be.
were.
By the way, Dean Cain is in he's in a few Hallmark Christmas movies, and one of them is, what the heck is it called? Suing Santa or something, and he plays Santa's lawyer. It's my favorite movie of all time. Which ship was actually a modified T-47 airspeeder? Which ship was actually a modified T-47 airspeeder? The Cloud Car, the Snowspeeder, the TIE Bomber, the TIE Interceptor.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm going to make my guess.
Okay.
The key word that you said is modified. And who modifies stuff because they're spunky and crafty and resourceful? The Rebels. So I'm going to say it's the Snowspeeder.
Who would you have picked to play Lex Luthor? And don't say Bryan Cranston. He's out of the running.
Damn.
I get it.
Honestly, he might be too old now, but I think Billy Zane would have been perfect. There's a point in Billy Zane's career where he would have been a perfect Lex Luthor. And the fact that that never happened is...
Billy Zane.
Travesty in the world? I don't know.
Billy Zane in Zoolander is one of the greatest cameos. Why don't you listen to your friend Billy Zane? By the way, when Billy Zane pulls out that gun on the Titanic, I was like, throw this VHS tape out the window. Like, give me a break. Which ship was actually a modified T-47 airspeeder? The Cloud Car, the Phantom, the Snowspeeder, the TIE Bomber, the TIE Interceptor. You're saying Snowspeeder, Stan Solo, Snowspeeder, Rural Farm Boy, Incom, T-47. Snowspeeder's got a full name.
Wow.
Pauline is going Snowspeeder. The correct answer is anything Rural Farm Boy says. It is Snowspeeder for sure. Yeah, I think for me, I actually am a huge fan of Batman and Superman. But Doomsday was the point where I was like, yeah. Even when he was in the trailer, I'm like, first of all, he looks weird. Secondly, the Doomsday story, and I think I've said this on the podcast before. I used to, when I was a kid, ride my bike every month or whatever it was for a funeral for a friend when Superman was killed. I bought when he died, and I rode my bike every week to get a funeral for a friend. I still have them all. They're in terrible shape. They're not worth anything. But I used to ride my bike, and I would read the hell out of them. And I bought the novelization. I bought the novelization because I just thought that whole storyline was so good, and Doomsday was so good, and you just throw him in like that was for me, weak sauce. They could have thrown any villain that we've never heard of in there.
That's I didn't read any Superman comics except the stuff right after his death. I didn't even read the death. I just read the aftermath of it, and like when Cyborg Superman shows up, and there's actually he's in Supergirl as well, but like those comics were really fun, and I wanted to see them done right. I was hoping for like 4 different Henry Cavills, where he's Clark Kent, but he's also the cyborg one, and he's also the Eradicator.
I feel like we were going to get something closer to that with Snyder, because he had black's costume Superman, right? Black suit Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we're going to get the other stuff. Anyway, so I got a question. Real Farm Boy has a question. Why were they modified, Andrew? Why were the snow speeders modified?
I think because, I could be wrong, but Rural, help me out here. I think it's because the original speeders couldn't handle the cold on Hoth, so they had to be upgraded.
Yep.
I don't know.
When stationed on Hoth, the Rebel Alliance modified T-47 airspeeders to become snow speeders, fast flying conveyances for patrol and defense of their hidden base. It took some doing to keep the crippling cold from permanently grounding their air force, but Rebel ingenuity overcame the relentless Hoth elements.
Damn straight. Take that, Dean Cain. Actually, fun fact for everybody in the chat, I can use Smallville as a way to figure out when James and I met. I could do that. Hold on.
How?
Actually, because the day that I met you, we were filming Chestnuts.
Chestnuts, the greatest Christmas movie to never be finished.
Yeah, there's 90 minutes of claymation just stuck in the middle of that movie. And it's all a lot.
I wish.
Let's hear it. Because so when I remember you picked me up, we went to your aunt's house.
Yeah.
And that other guy was there who was in the movie with me.
Yeah.
And before we started filming...
This is Andrew, by the way. When Andrew acts, he refers to all the other actors as the other guy who acts with him.
I don't remember that guy's name. Was it Steve?
Dude, Steve? It's been like 15 years. I don't expect you to remember him.
But we got to your aunt's house, and before we started filming, you were like, "Oh, hold on, I want to show you guys something cool." You walk over to a TV, and you're like, "I taped the newest episode of Smallville where Clark's dad dies." So
wow.
that was the current
season 5.
That was that week. Yeah, season 5. That was that week, and that episode aired January 26th, 2006. So we met at the tail end of January 06.
14 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Too long. I've known you longer than Brock. Good times. Good times. Wow. Aaron? I hear talking and I see you walk by and I'm like, oh, we might have got a package. We might not have. We'll see what happens. My dog was barking. Did not hear a word of her. All right. I have to get back to work. So we're going to wrap it up with this last question. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on today's talk. Be sure 7 p.m. tonight, Thumb War live chat with it. It'll be on YouTube forever after that. And then are you going to do live chats for every episode following this?
Maybe. I'll do premieres. So I think if those come hand in hand with a live chat.
They do.
Cool. There we go.
All right. Every Thursday?
Every Thursday for the next 6 weeks. It's only 6 episodes. That's all I could do. I'm only one man.
Yeah, and Rural, if you have any more trivia questions for us, just shoot me a tweet. He sent me some recipes. I am going to be cooking this weekend. I know grocery shopping is happening. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on how big the line is to get in. How many Class 2 heavy laser cannons is an AT-AT AT-AT equipped with? How many Class 2 heavy laser cannons is an AT-AT AT-AT equipped with? By the way,
Can't wait
did
to
you
hear
did you
how
do the
it-
music? Did you do the music for Thumb War, or are you using copywritten stuff?
I did the music for Thumb War. That's
Mm.
actually what I'm in the middle of now. I'm composing music for all the episodes, except the one tonight because that's already done.
I was wondering because you said you were going to, but I haven't heard from you in 4 years about it. So
Yeah.
yeah, Ronto wraps. That's right. I can't wait to make it. It looks so good. Rolf posted a photo of his Ronto wrap breakfast, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And he sent me the recipe, and I was like, "I must make this, but I have to get some chorizo, which I don't have. I only have the Italian stuff, which is very different." By the way, San Francisco, I got breakfast, and it was, and I don't really like eggs or anything. I'm weird when it comes to breakfast, but I had this egg and chorizo for like 4 days straight in San Francisco because chorizo is a godsend.
Is that a sauce?
It is a sausage.
Oh,
It's a sausage. Yeah, it's like a Spanish sausage. So good. It's like my favorite sausages are like Italian sausage, chorizo, and then not
Jimmy,
Hmm?
Jimmy Dean.
and then, yeah, I'm gonna make. I might even do a video of me making it just to show everybody how great they are, and I'll eat it and I'll be like, smell-o-vision. I'm sure like it just looked. The thing is, I don't know if I could pull off what he pulled off, but it looked at his picture. I was like, he didn't take that. That looks like his. But it looked fantastic, so I'm very appreciative of that. How many Class 2 heavy laser cannons is an AT-AT equipped with, or AT-AT, depending on how you talk about it?
I don't know what the options are, but I'm gonna
Oh
say
yeah,
4.
I guess I should. 4682. 4682. And if you remember my clue before, you might get this one right. 4682.
Oh. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, that's so weird that they do that.
Mm-hmm. How
I'm
many?
pretty sure I'm wrong, but I'm sticking with 4.
How many
'Cause I'm-
Class 2 heavy laser cannons is an AT-AT equipped with 4682? You're going with 4. Paulina. I'm going to learn how to read one day. Pauline says 4. Stan Solo says 6. World Farm Boy says 2. And if you remember, I said there's an order, and then one of them is out of the order. Typically, it's the third one, but this one is 2 is the answer. 2.
Wow.
So they went 4, 6, 8 all in order, and then they're like, and 2. And 2. We're going through this deck. We've done, how many cards have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cards from this deck. We've still got a lot more to go. 650 in total. We've gone through 300, I think.
Damn, cardinal games.
Yeah, we need to make a sequel to this. It's only got 4 guns, 2 heavy, 2 medium. That's what Rural is saying in regards to that. So there you go.
'Cause
Always
if I remember
trust.
right, the head of an AT-AT, there's guns on the chin and then like guns up here.
All right, well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining us today, for joining all these days with us while you are in isolation having your lunch. Rural, show us pictures of what you're eating because it looks it's probably
Yeah,
something great. Tonight, like we said, we've been saying it all the time. We'll look forward to seeing you all in the chat for Thumb War. Cannot wait. Andrew, any final words?
Yeah, you guys are gonna be blown away by James and Aaron's camp. They steal the show.
That's what you call overselling it. Overselling it big time. All right, everybody.
Especially in episode 6, you guys do legit.
Oh,
steal
really?
the
Which
show.
ones? I thought. Oh,
Episode
okay.
6.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
it's the cards.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. I thought the other one might have been. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. That one, actually, we have more of a. Anyway, we'll see everybody then. It's going to be a lot of fun. More trivia tomorrow at lunchtime as well. We can't wait for it. And until then, may the force of others be with you.
Rebel scum. Oh wait.